Let me get the feds real quick. We're gonna get started. Give it a second. Let some folks get in here. I hope y'all are doing as good as possible on this beautiful Wednesday. I know it's a lot of craziness going on right now, but I pray we're doing the best we can to appreciate the fact that we're alive right now. You know what I mean? Hopefully the weather's beautiful where you're at. Um, you know what I mean? Yeah. Let me get my stuff. We're gonna get started. Islam, Islam. Peace, 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 peace. I'm gonna go get my fez. When I watched it, but I wanted to play this song. It's called Demons. I made this after well, just listen. I understood this man knew he was gonna die. People watched it. People filmed it. And for some reason that I still don't understand, all these fucking police had their hands in their pockets. Who are you talking to? What are you signifying? That you can kneel on a man's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds and feel like you wouldn't get the wrath of God. We're gonna get started in a minute. Just trying to get my mind right. I'm moving at my own speed. And let me proceed, got a little more to say. If you're hating black and brown, use a yeah, I know I shouldn't say it, God. But how they do it's make it kinda hard. Non-violent, but the situation tricky. So I think I need to. I'm trying to find another way. Yeah, okay. I said now, why you wanna turn us to demons? We was trying to chill. I said, I think I finna black out. Peaceful now, I'm finna pull a Mac or there. My homies say don't do that. You see the devil tugging at you. I'm like, nigga, true that. True fact. Woo. True fact. I walk with God, ain't no way they can stop us. True fact. What they talking? True fact. 7 years I've been walking. I'm like Jay from New Orleans. Yeah. Seven's up on him. Seven's up on him. Stop my music to listen. Now let go of me. I intend to take my power back. I intend coordinated activity happening across this nation. And so we are in a state of emergency. Black people are dying in a state of emergency. We cannot look at this as an isolated incident. The reason why buildings are burning are not just for our brother George Floyd. They're burning down because people here in Minnesota are saying to people in New York, to people in California, to people in Memphis, to people all across this nation, enough is enough. And we are not responsible for the mental illness that has been inflicted upon our people by the American government, institutions, and those people who are in positions of power. I don't give a damn if they burn down Target, because Target should be on the streets with us.
All right, man. Peace, 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 peace. We going through a lot right now. I want to say, and I have a lot to say. All right. First and foremost, I want us all to think about the fact that we are all suffering through trauma, dealing with this. You know what I mean? So do your best with your people, to love on our people, to show compassion to our people, kindness to our people, because what we're experiencing with this genocide, you know what I mean? And I want to identify it as a genocide, because that's what we're going through. We got to do our best not to lose our humanity and our the light inside of us. Man, you know, because this has been happening. It's been happening for a minute now. You know what I mean? And particularly the past, 10 years or so, 10, 15 years or so, it's been pretty brutal in terms of police terrorism and police violence. And prayers to Dante Wright, and prayers to, any and everyone. I don't want to call out names because we could keep doing the list and, names and names and names. But prayers to all of the families and any of the friends and loved ones that are connected with Dante Rice, or any of the families that have suffered at the hands of police, violence, terrorism, killing. Prayers to us all, because we suffering even if it's not direct. And I've been thinking a lot about it, and asking myself, well, what can I do? What retweeting, you know what I mean? All right, you know what I mean? We done that so many times. What is the solutions? How do we get up out this situation? That's kind of what I've been thinking about. And the first thing that I could think of is just showing ourselves love and compassion. You know what I mean? I feel like oftentimes in our frustration for what we're going through, we turn the anger that we have towards each other, because this group feels like they can do it this way, or this group feels this is what we need to do to end this police violence and this police terrorism. And if this group doesn't agree with this group, then we get angry, and we turn that anger and the frustration we have towards each other. And so I just wanted to lead with that first, you know what I mean? But then specifically speaking, to Moors, and that's another thing. I said in the title, what is the title? The police are still terrorizing and killing blacks. What are Moors doing about it? we have to understand that we're the same people, whether you identify yourself as or Moorish American, etc., or you identify yourself as black, African American, Negro, colored, etc., etc., etc. How we identify ourselves, it definitely has an effect on us, but at the core of it, we still the same people. So I I want to reemphasize more is to help remind us to not talk about our people as them, oh the black people need y'all need to, as if they're separate from us, and that sometimes happens due to our ego and due to the information that we have and how you may see yourself now as a Moorish American, so you're not like the black people, you're not like the African Americans because you know who you are. Um, but that's a we're in error when we do that. You know what I mean? And we're dividing ourselves when we do that. Um, so I wanted to say that, but also Moors, I just wanted to holler at us and really encourage encourage and push us to do more. A wise brother taught me, it is the duty of those that do know to teach those that don't know. Um, and that duty, uh, we have to do that. What do we have to? Because we know who we are, and because we know the implications that come with identifying as more and all of that, we have to do a better job at leading the way, at helping our people. Because that's our responsibility with the knowledge and the wisdom that we have. So in saying that, I made a list and I was thinking like, all right, what are Moors doing about it? Do we have, um, for example, do we have a Moorish security company where, we have Moorish brothers and sisters, they'll go out into a whole entire community and they'll protect and serve. There'll be peace officers. Do we have a Moorish peace officer organization where we can send our brothers and sisters out and they can help protect and serve our communities so we don't have to depend on the police? We don't have to call the police for anything. We can have any sort of disputes and crimes and all of that stuff handled by our own people. Do Moors have that? What else did I put? Do we have do Moors have a Moorish legal or law organization, legal company established that we're able to provide representation to our brothers and sisters that have been violated, terrorized, or murdered by the police? Do we have that established? Moors, do we got that? Because if you notice, if you notice, with all of these um, police killings and police terrorist attacks, um, this brother Benjamin Crump keeps being used as the attorney. And this is, and I pulled this up just so I could see, just to be sure. Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, and I'm hearing that he may be being called into this Dante Wright case. I don't want to disrespect that brother, but you can see for yourself in terms of his track record. How many times has he been able to obtain justice for our people? Not just some little check that gets written off, but actual justice. How many times have the perpetrators, the murderers that have killed our people, how many times have they gone to jail? Well, do Moors have a company? Do Moors have legal and lawful representation that can go out and help the victims of these violent killings get justice? Do we have that established? Are we providing that service? Um, Have we gotten any laws passed? Have Moors actively been working in all of the different levels of government, local, state, federal, to change laws to stop these kinds of things from happening, to make more strict or more harsh consequences if a police officer kills a person in duty, whether they call it an accident, they say they're reaching for the taser or not. Have we done the work to affect the laws of this country, to change things? Um, what else did or change more severe in terms of the penalties in jail, but also in terms of settlements. Instead of it coming out of our budget and our and taxes that we pay, is it coming out of their insurance bonds? Is it coming from the police union? What are we doing to really affect change and make sure that this won't happen any further? Moors, and I'm saying more specifically because Moors, we are always the ones talking about we know law. We study in the law, and this and that law and this law, and you need to stand on law. And law is important. Law, law, law. Well, what are we doing with the law? Really and truly. We got to be honest with ourselves on this. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that because it's our duty, because we know. Because we know we got that obligation to help those that don't know, to be the leaders for those that don't know, to set the example. Not just and not just trying to chastise our people, trying to look down or demean or disrespect or blame our people and say, well, if y'all wouldn't have been calling yourselves black and if y'all would just listen to Moors, then we wouldn't be. That's not going to help us. That doesn't bring anybody's life back. That's not stopping the police from terrorizing and violently, harassing us and beating us down. That doesn't stop that. And it doesn't motivate our people to want to learn this information. And that's why I keep looking like, well, what are we doing? Because if I took myself out of, what I know and I went back to, oh, I'm just black, and I'm looking at, oh, more saying they got the answers, well, I'm looking at more. Where's your examples? What have you done? Where's the proof in the pudding? And it isn't. It isn't there. Why isn't it there? Why aren't we doing these things? We lack organization. We lack accountability. We lack humility. We lack love. We are not doing the things that we're supposed to do. And as a result, the rest of our people are suffering. That's how I feel anyway. David Bell. We got to stop using black or they will never take us seriously, especially in the courtroom. We got to start fighting for human rights, not citizen rights or civil rights. I agree, David Bell. I agree. We have to stop using those terms. Negro, black and colored, African American, Afro American, Black American. Those terms and those labels connect us to being enslaved. Connect us to not having rights. Connect us to not being seen as human. And so we do get treated less than. We do get oppressed. We do get terrorized. Very true. Got to get our people to stop calling themselves black. Ernest Bennett Jr. Bay. I agree. How do we do that? when the whole COVID situation hit, how many more schools popped up and was offering to teach our people classes every Friday, twice a week on the weekend, something? Do we have any Zoom universities, Zoom elementary schools? But more Americans was teaching our people to know the fundamentals, just the basics. That we not black, Negro, color? Did we establish that? Accountability. What are we doing? We're not doing much. We too busy disrespect, and I'm saying we so that it doesn't seem like I'm pointing the finger, because it's us. It takes all of us. Instead of us uplifting our people, I see Moors far too often attacking our people, pointing the finger and looking down and disrespecting the next group or the next organization. That's not the answer. That's not love instead of hate. At the core, and that's why I know it may seem corny sometimes when I be talking about we gotta put the love in it. But in times like these, that's where it counts. And what I mean by that is, matter of fact, let me play this real quick.
Violence just jumping off now, you know what I'm saying? Say it again. The violence just jumping off now, you know what I'm saying? I just feel that affect the kids that's coming up right now. I think black on black violence affect the youngsters, making them cold-hearted, right?
And this is Tupac. My bad. If you don't know who this is Tupac Amaru Shakur, legendary MC, messenger, amazing human being. Just listen up.
You know, like when we kill each other, it make us not really give a fuck about blackness. You know, when they see their own niggas, you know, they grown niggas just killing other niggas, you know, it make it like to where they cold and they heartless, you know. I could say that because I'm heartless. I would not, I grew up Panther-wise, you know what I'm saying? And nowadays, a nigga like, fuck that. You gotta survive. You know, I'm screaming black like the next man, but when the first shot lick off, you know, it's all good. Everybody's all in, because niggas will kill you quicker than some of these crackers, and then they'll kill you but won't kill some of these crackers, you know what I'm saying, which kills me. So, and also like that, the police violence against us, that's making us crazy. That's what's making us kill each other. Because we really want to kill the police, but we scared, so we kill each other. You know, we got guns, we just scared to shoot the motherfuckers that's doing it to us. So
It's making us crazy. The violence is making us heartless. In these moments is when we have to do our best not to descend and give in to that hatred, give in to the anger, give in to being heartless. Because that's what make us say, I don't care, I'm about mine, me and mine, I don't care about no, and you quick to kill the next man. Somebody that look just like you. And that's what brings on more chaos and more destruction. That's why we gotta be about loving each other, uplifting each other, not doing what, not killing. That's not gonna solve the issue. And let me address this for because I know it's some people that's thinking this. Well, see, this is why we need to have guns, so we can protect ourselves. The people that talk like that, how many times have they used guns to quote unquote protect themselves from police? How many times have they gone to defend themselves physically against the police? The ones that's always promoting that. The ones that's always talking, we need to get guns, we need to protect ourselves. Yeah, that's how we we need to fight back like that. How many times have you seen them? How many times are they on record showing and proving that they walking what they talking? It's 99.9% of the time they selling wolf tickets. They trying to put the battery in your back to go get you to do something crazy. Violence ain't the answer. I love Pop, and I understand that energy. But even if you want to go that route, how about let's get organized first? How about we make a peace officer organization? How about let's start there? That we just have people walking around the neighborhood, cleaning up, sweeping, picking up the garbage, walking children home, helping elderlies with the things, making sure nobody's breaking into cars, bipping, if you know what that is. Instead of trying to descend and instead of trying to give that same energy that we're getting in terms of people killing us, oh, okay, well, we need to kill people. No, don't do that. We're not supposed to descend into that lower self. We're not supposed to become more animalistic. That's not being the gods, right? We always talking about, oh, God, this, and we the gods, and da-da-da-da-da, and deities, and divinity, etc., etc. Relying on guns isn't very godly to me. Just saying. Gregoriel, where are the Moorish attorneys? That's a great question. Where are the Moorish attorneys? Again, instead of those ones trying to talk about going to get guns and being violent to defend ourselves, where are the Moorish attorneys? Here's another thing. What about us leaving, going to another country? Have we considered that option? It's an option. Just saying, it's an option. We don't have to um, enslave ourselves to this continent for all of eternity. It's okay to move around. Are Moorish Americans um, building on that? Do we have committees? Do we have groups doing research on that? Reaching out and building relationships with different countries and different politicians and diplomats from different countries to see how can we work to get some land established, resources, communication, establish some sort of connection so that we can make a move like that. Are we doing that? Moors, are we doing that? We talk about nation building and nationality all the time, but what are we doing on the international scale? Just saying, there's things that we can be doing. And unfortunately, I don't feel that we're doing most of these things because at the core of it all, Moorish Americans, we are disorganized. We are divided. We are confused about what this movement is about, what our organization is about, what we supposed to be really doing. It ain't got so twisted up that now most people associate Moors with, oh, if they're Moors and they can try to get us out of jail. Or if they're Moors, they can travel without a license. Or if they're Moors, they can get a property without paying taxes. That's, for us to think that that's what this movement is about, shows how twisted and how confused and how off track we are with what we're supposed to be doing. Titan Olmec Warrior. This is our country. It's time to fight or die. They making it clear. See? This is an example of what I'm speaking about. It's time to fight or die. They are making it clear. Really? Is that really what is happening? And what are you doing, Mr. Titan Olmec Warrior? Have you fought at all? Just saying. Moors, so-called black people, we have to be smart and be careful about people that seem anxious to try to encourage people. Yeah, we need to fight back against the police. We need to grab guns. Yeah, it's time. That's how we need. Revolution is not. They trying to make it seem like it's sexy and it's ooh, it's cute and oh yeah, get your gun. Oh, it's cool. Yeah. No. Revolution and war is a terrible thing when it gets violent. It's nothing cute about it. Nothing like that. Matter of fact, I keep going with that.
I feel as though, shit, the violence is just making us more cold-hearted animals, some shit that they can't fuck with. Because we worse than anything they talked about.
Let's talk about the Black Panthers.
Listen up.
Growing up in that type of environment.
I'm saying, my people, my folks, they in penitentiaries for bank robberies and killing cops, and you know what I'm saying? That's my family tree. It ain't no stretch for me to be talking the shit that I be talking. And they didn't do it screaming, let's go move to why. They were screaming African liberation, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about straight motherfucking G's. But now they in jail now, and then nobody gave a fuck. And there's motherfuckers out here with beads and all that drama that they be wearing, and my folks is in the pen over that shit. So I takes that shit like, fuck it. I'm not that type of nigga that's gonna be like, but I live right here, and it's hard, right motherfucking here. I help y'all as soon as I get there. But while I'm right here, I'm speaking the language that we speak. I'm addressing.
Did you hear what he said, what Pac said? His family was on that type of time for real. And they ended up in the penitentiary. A lot of people like to try to romanticize revolution and try to romanticize going up against the oppressor. Yeah, it's time to fight back. Yeah, comrade, that's my comrade. Yeah. Man, when you study history and you really understand what happened to our people, not even just our people, if you just look at revolution, if you look at revolutions throughout history, pick any country and really look into and research what happens, man. Research what's going on in Egypt or man, wherever, Palestine. Understand, man, it's not thinking that going to war against the US government is some sort of solution or is the only option we got right now is that's not the advice that we need, man. It's not realistic. Most of the people that's talking like that are not really prepared to sacrifice in that way. It just sounds real good. You know what I mean? Most people like the idea of Malcolm X peeking out the blinds with the AK. Most people aren't really down to sacrifice in the way that Malcolm sacrificed. Or any of the Black Panthers, any of the revolutionaries. And I think that's partly why I came on here, is also to encourage us to think about the things that we can do that doesn't take us resorting to extreme measures like violence and trying to fight or die, because that mentality is what will destroy us. You know what I mean? That's not, you don't fight fire with fire. As simple as I can say it. That doesn't, fighting fire with fire doesn't put the fire out. And you're talking about going against the U.S. government, which, just look at the history, man. Very violent country. Home and abroad. All over the place, man. Why are you trying to match the evil? You think you're going to be as evil as the people oppressing us? You think that's how we're going to get out of it? Nah, man. Nah. Rafael Flores signed petitions to defund the police. Start neighborhood and community protection groups, teams, and programs. I like how you think, Raphael. I like how you think, man. I like how you think. And I would say, to take it a step further, let's not just let's not just talk about defunding the police. How about um, redistributing the funding, redistributing the funding to community peace programs? You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to just say, yeah, take the money away from the police. All right, but where are we putting it though? There's so much corruption going on, you know what I mean, in government, that if you not very clear about, yeah, we want the money that's going here, that's funding these terroristic acts, now we want that taken away from here, and we want it going here. If we ain't clear about that, they'll say, yeah, sure, we'll take it away from here, we'll put it right back. You know what I mean? They'll find ways to get up and through that. So we have to, I love that idea. I say let's take it a step further. Um, But in order to fund programs like that, we got to create the program. The programs got to be available. Do Moors have a a federal like a program, nationwide program, education program, um, to inform so-called Black people about our nationality? Do we have that program, a nonprofit program set up where we can go into schools or partner up with schools, or after school programs, or community programs, so we can come in and teach these things? Do we got that established? Maybe we should work on that. This was another idea I had also. Do we have a federal database for police, people that are police that violate, that have, complaints about discrimination or abuse, um, or harassment or murder somebody? Do we have a federal database that tracks these things? Maybe we can get a law instituted that, based on this database, they have to go through a process no matter what police department you apply with. You got to run your name through that check, that background check. And if you have too many complaints in that system, I'm sorry, you can't have the job. I'm sorry. Do we have something like that set up so we can prevent things from happening before something terrible happens and we got to try to react to it? I don't think we have these in place. I don't think it's anything stopping us from having these things in place except us not doing the work. And I think, specifically Moors, that's where we can play our part. We can show and prove with our knowledge of the law, as we always saying, right? We can say, yeah, this is how we can fight back with the law. Boom, and show and prove. Like, here, look, we made it happen. Not just talking about it, not just saying, oh, this is a good idea, but no, we made it happen. Here it is. Boom. Can we as Moors agree on that? Can we dispatch, I don't know, 25, 50 Moors on that? They knock that out in a couple of weeks. Boom. Do we got that organization? No, we do not. And that's where we got to look in the mirror and get ourselves right. Because we not doing what we supposed to. This group saying they the official, this group saying that, this group want to do this group disrespect. We got too much disorganization and a lack of unity and a lack of respect for each other within our own organization. Not following what Noble Drew Ali established in our own organization. It's hard for anybody outside to take it seriously. Hard for our people that maybe don't understand the remorse to take us seriously when they look at our organization like, man, y'all ain't doing nothing. What y'all did for Tamir Rice and all of the names? What y'all did? Where y'all at? On YouTube making videos, disrespecting other people? Just saying, man, we got to be honest with ourselves. We got to have some accountability. Um, we need to unite. I agree. I agree. Um, I want to read a couple more. Um, yeah. Well, what are the Moors doing about it? Um, oh, duh. That's what I wanted to say. My bad. And how do Moors get right? How do Moors unify? How do we get how do we get back on the path and doing what we're supposed to do as Moorish Americans? Who do we listen to? Me? Well, I'm not finna listen to Rami. All right. Well, who is the go-to person? Who are the top people that we're supposed to be? Who is leading this our organization? Who is organizing us? Who is at the top? If you say nobody, then where we going? Where we headed? Who driving the car if ain't nobody behind the wheel? That don't really make much sense. Do you know? You don't know. Do you know why? Supreme Grand Council. God dang it. There you go again. There you go again. He didn't said it again. He didn't said it again. Ah. Yeah, see, Moors don't really like me because I keep bringing it around to accountability. And I keep bringing up this thing called the Supreme Grand Council. And if you don't know what that is, I ask you to look it up for yourself. Look into it for yourself. I don't want you to believe me. But it's the component, it's the piece, it is the group within the Moorish organization that will get everything clear. That will make sure that we have unity, that we have a direction, that we on code, that we are doing what we supposed to do. That we have real progress with this and we not just talking about what Moors should be doing and what it would be like if Moors did this and did that. You will actually see things happening. But we don't have that right now. We don't have central the central governing aspect of our organization. We don't have that in place. And many of the people that are claiming to be Moorish Americans, claiming to be Moors, claiming to have this knowledge and this wisdom, they are unwilling to address this issue. They would much rather continue on with the same old rhetoric and do the same old lectures and the same old videos and keep pointing fingers and blaming other people, right? Yeah, see, y'all not doing it, and I've been doing this, and y'all not doing this. You know why? Because they don't want to take accountability. You know why? Because it keeps their hustle going. Because if we actually address this issue, then we would actually have to start taking accountability, doing some real work, making real progress. But as it stands now, people just playing on that hamster wheel. And people are using this organization for entertainment and as a hustle and as a way to gain fame and notoriety. Yeah, I want to be one of the conscious people online and I want people to look to me and I want to create my own little movement. They don't really and truly want to help the people, which is unfortunate, but it's a reality. And until we address it, We will continue to be terrorized in this country. We will continue to be victimized in this country. Um, we will continue to be brutalized and murdered and oppressed and discriminated against, um, and enslaved. Ultimately, that's the reality that we're facing, because the retweets saying no justice, no peace, protesting in the streets, you know, all of that, creating, the petitions on change.org or whatever, all of that stuff, we done that time and time and time and time again. That's not gonna help us. That alone is not gonna get it done. Moors Americans, we understand the missing component, with our people to really make some things happen. But we ourselves is not right. Our organization is not right. We not addressing the real issue with us. So this man, until we do that, we're just gonna be in this same cycle. That is the sad reality. And, you know, ultimately, man, it's gonna take us. You watching. Yes, you. You can't just watch the videos and double tap and like the post on social media. Nah. You know about Moors. It's a reason why you're aware of Moors and more science, and there were Moorish Americans, we're not blacks. It's a reason you're aware. You're supposed to help those that don't know. You're supposed to help uplift those that don't know. But you can't sit back and be quiet and wait for somebody else. You can't sit back and constantly see this and not address the Supreme Grand Council. Yeah, I know you may like that more and you think he's cool and all of that, but if he's not addressing the Supreme Grand Council, he BSing. It's the facts, man. You know what I mean? And man, we just got to get right. You know what I mean? Because our people need it. Our people need us. Our people need this understanding of who we are. And then, nationality is important. And proclaiming our nationality is important. And identifying ourselves properly is important. And that can solve a lot of these issues that we have going on. But we can't really do that if we not on it how we supposed to be on it. If we not organized, if we're not setting the best example, we sound like hypocrites. We sound like the next organization that's just out to make money or to get it's a hustle or a scheme. People doing it for fame, for the likes. That's what it looks like until we do what we supposed to do. Man, I was about to close out, but I want to read that. We need to set our differences aside and humble ourselves to one another. We got to subdue our egos. Come on, Raphael, man. Come on, Raphael, man. Out here dropping the jewels, man. Dropping the jewels, man. That's the key. I done said this before. I'll make sure me say it again. Some Moors have a lot of negative and disrespectful things to say about the Nation of Islam, Louis Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, etc., etc., etc. Why, they sold us out because they not teaching that we're Moors, etc. And my thing is, rather than try to point the finger and blame the next group, why not understand where we can unify? Why not look towards the Nation of Islam and see, in terms of organization, in terms of structure and foundation, they is on point. It's undeniable. The Nation of Islam is on point in terms of that aspect. So why not appreciate that and build with them? Humble ourselves as Moors. Humble ourselves as Moorish Americans. Put that ego aside and work with our people instead of try to point the finger and say what y'all not doing. Matthew 7:3. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah, we can get into the Bible a little bit. I did my best not to use the Quran or anything, but stop judging other people and trying to look for all the flaws in them and not even understanding all the flaws we got within our organization, within ourselves. Man, set them differences aside, man. Humble ourselves. Come on, man. You gotta, David Bell, we gotta stand up for the land, make a law for killing an aboriginal, which is sovereign to the land. You know, I feel you, David Bell. I feel you. I feel you. I really do. Um, Again, whenever I see that, I just think about, well, what are Moors doing right now within our organization? Moorish Americans don't even follow the divine constitution. We try to talk about laws and this law and that law and the other law and this one and that. That's just the code and that's a statute. That ain't really a law. You don't know the law like I know the law. But we not even following the laws and know what Drew Ali laid down for us within our own organization, mind you. We look hypocritical, you know what I mean? And it's like, not even we look, we are hypocritical. You know what I mean? We are hypocritical. And we have to we have to address that. We have to get right. We gotta say, all right, Moors, we gotta tighten up. We gotta tighten up, man. Tighten that turban up. You know what I mean? Stand on your square a little bit sharper. Be willing to say, hey, Moor, we out of line, we out of pocket. That's not how we supposed to be operating. Even if that is your friend, even if that is your partner. Yeah, even if you do say, oh, that's a wise grand sheik. Grand sheiks are not infallible. These people that have these Moorish titles, they are not perfect beings where they make no mistakes. Love Taj Tariq Bey, but he is not above reproach. And if you put any of these people that you see on some sort of pedestal and they're better than the rest and you could just lick, that's what we in there. What's right is right, man. Truth is truth. We got to be willing to stand on the principle, not on our feelings. We got to stand and move on principle, not on our feelings. Come on, man. Yeah. So just to sum it up, man. Police still terrorizing and killing us. What are Moors doing about it? We need to get right within our own organization. We need to humble ourselves. But we need to start going out there and really uplifting the people. Using the knowledge and the wisdom that we have. We ain't got to try to talk about we ain't got to try to even flex like we need guns. We don't even have to try to posture and fake like that's the type of time we need to be on, because we don't even have to be on that type of time. That's what's so amazing about us as a people when we really understand what's going on. We ain't even, to win this war or this battle that we're going through, we don't even need that. If we just uplift ourselves, that alone is going to change the world. If we stop killing ourselves, if we stop disrespecting and demeaning and mistreating each other, If we start uplifting each other, man, it'll change overnight, man. It'll change overnight. But it starts with us. You know what I mean? It starts with those that know better, that do better. It starts with those that know to teach those that don't know. And if you're aware of more science, you're aware of Noble Drew Ali and there were Moorish Americans, Muslims, etc., then you should know first and foremost, you gotta move with love instead of hate. Gotta have that love in your heart, man. You can't have that hate in your heart. Cause we will get manipulated and we will destroy ourselves if we give in to that hatred and into that anger. And we start getting into our lower self and thinking we have to go to war and we have to kill. That's not the answer. That old way didn't work. So it's on us to make a change. Come on, man. And one change, again, just so I'm clear, one change that Moors can make, again, as an organization, address the Supreme Grand Council. But outside of an organization, just as a Moor, as an individual, move with love instead of hate. Stop trying to disrespect or look down on our people. You use any opportunity, any chance that you have to uplift us, to share some knowledge about who we are in a way that uplifts us, not to demean or to look down or to put down our people. Regardless if they feel in their heart and they believe that we black and they screaming out black power and black lives matter and blackity black, blackity black. Okay? It don't even if that's the type of time that they on. Find a way to uplift them. Find a way. Hey, why don't you just put more on the end of that? Black or more. Can you do that? You know what I mean? Humble yourself and find a way to teach them and uplift them from that space to understand who we truly are. And do it with the love, man. We gotta love each other, man, especially in these days and times where we are being attacked, we are being terrorized. Love is the key, man. Love is what's gonna help us get through these situations. And it's gonna help us not have our hearts turn cold and have us become heartless. Because that's not the answer. You know what I mean? We talk about being God-like and being gods and all of that. Well, God is in the heart. And so if you heartless, then you without, come on, man. Come on, man. If your heart is all filled with malice and anger and hatred, you can't be on your God. You can't be in your God body. You're not being no God body right now. You know what I mean? So let's put that love in the heart. Let that love shine through. And uplift our people, man. Yeah. That's all I had to say, man. Appreciate y'all listening. Study Noble Drew Ali. You know what I mean? If you don't know about Moors, if you've heard about Moors a little bit and you just stumbled onto this video, study Noble Drew Ali. Start right there. The information he brought will make things so much clearer to you. You know what I mean? And move with love instead of hate. Last thing. And if you see a Moor talking about this, that, and the third, ask that Moor. Hey, I got a question though. What about that Supreme Grand Council? What y'all doing with that though? Because I heard that until that gets working, all this more stuff is not gonna work for us. Ask the people that you see teaching, that you see talking about more stuff. Ask them about the Supreme Grand Council, and just listen closely to their response. If their response isn't Yeah, we need to get that right. Yeah, we need to work on their responses. Oh, that's not important. Oh, that you they trying to dismiss it. They trying to act like it ain't important. Red flag. Red flag. Gotta hold ourselves accountable. We gotta get ourselves right before we can start pointing the finger at each other, at other people. Talking about what the next organization, the next group, y'all ain't doing this, y'all. More's got to get right with ourselves first, with our organization first. You feel me? All right. Peace and love. Thank y'all for listening. Keep shining. Man, keep spreading the love, man. Trust me on this. Even if it seemed corny, spread that love, man. It's gonna change things. It's gonna change things. All right, love.